I started off with studying just like anybody else. Started off at AOD. Once I completed my time at college, I was working in the garment industry straight after that for like 7 years. I was headhunted by Brandix, that was my first job, and then worked for some of the top multinational companies in Sri Lanka. And soon afterwards, once I came to a certain point, I decided, okay, now it's time to kind of move on and start my own brand. How I started was I launched my first brand at Colombo Fashion Week, which was Yasisurie, which was a high-end ready-to-wear label, and then that took off immediately after. And then soon on, it was a sort of a gradual process where people were asking for high-end couture, handmade, made one piece per person, made to order kind of garments. So we kind of moved, it was sort of an organic move into that area of designing, and then that is now known as Yasisurie Kiribandara Couture. And 2016 we launched our bridal business, which is Yasisurie Kiribandara Bride, obviously. And we do like sort of very high-end again, very high-end, made-to-order bridals. Most of our brides, some of them are local, some are international as well. They would come and ask for very unique concepts, things that were not done before, which would take, usually a bridal would take between 6 months to 1 year to develop. And we do like the whole retinue. We've also diversified into like accessories when it comes to menswear. We've done a few suits and shirts on order. So we are kind of looking into moving into menswear a little bit more now. The Yasisurie brand goes on. The ready-to-wear brand is also there, but it's not sold at stores because we have our own workshop, and our known clients, they come to us and they purchase from us directly, and we have this ongoing relationship with them. We also have recently started Y brand, which is a more affordable, lower end ready-to-wear brand. At the moment, I would say that we are yet to really launch our first collection, so we are still working behind the lines with that one. I think it doesn't make much of a difference because you're not directly competing with somebody. Because when it comes to a designer, each designer's prerogative or each designer's outlook and creativity differs, and you cannot compare it. So I believe as long as we focus on what's good and what works for us, and we follow what our clients want and what our clients need, I feel that that in itself speaks for our own business. We're not a business that looks at directly competing or going head on with another brand or going with the trends. We don't follow trends, not even in our designs, not even in our business, because I feel that there is room for everybody. There is space for everyone to grow, and as long as you have your voice. It was exciting in the beginning, it was very exciting, but after a while you get used to it. But I wouldn't say that doing a show isn't exciting still, especially when you have the reaction from the crowd, and you see the crowd responding to what you're showing. But the process to lead up to it is a very, very long process, which most people do not know. It takes 6 months sometimes to develop a collection. And being featured overseas, yes, that was very exciting, but and it felt good as a local designer, as a South Asian designer, to be featured on some really big publications overseas, and especially because I had just started out. So all in all, it has been really, really a good experience. I think you should find somebody that you can trust, a professional, and somebody that you feel has a similar taste, because there are so many professionals out there, but sometimes one person's taste can differ from the other person. So if you're a bride who likes softer, simpler stuff, you should choose a designer who creates in that similar manner, and then probably sit down, take advice, ask them, and see whether that works for you, because after all that they have studied it. Yeah, as in terms of business, yes, because globally it's $1 billion business and it's huge. Locally, I feel the market is so small then where the financial aspect is concerned, for high-end products, I feel that most people do not understand the value of creating something taking so much of time and effort. So I believe that probably certain bodies, the government can seriously support creative people, even to take your brand outside the country, even to go into exports, even to sell overseas, so you can bring revenue into the country. I believe there's a lot of potential. I'm not saying we haven't grown, we have, but I'm saying there's so much more we can do. I think it's very, very important to be conscious of what you're actually putting out there and how you affect your environment. So for us, for example, we are very waste conscious. We do not waste anything. Even the last scraps, we give it to jewelry makers, carpet makers. We make sure that the product is utilized. When it comes to printing and embroidery, we make sure we only produce what is needed. We don't overproduce. We support artisans, so it's all handmade, hand-done stuff. Our products are not mass-made. We do not go into big processing systems like denim or let's say printing in a printing plant where there's a lot of water waste that is required. So being conscious is very, very important, I feel, so that you actually feel good about what you're building, on top of what you're doing for society or for somebody who could wear your garments. Also, you're feeling good about not destroying your environment. Yes, it's very important.